This extreme heat wave, it continues today. Some areas are going to be seeing the heat index get up to 115 degrees later on this afternoon. It's going to be a couple degrees cooler today than it was yesterday and the past couple of days, but really at this point, you're not going to notice it. It's still going to be brutally hot, and relief is on the way later on this week and going into the weekend. So we'll talk about that coming up in a couple of minutes here. Right now it's 7:38 on your Monday morning. No rain. Clear skies all over the Carolinas, but the first thing you're noticing is all the heat alerts that are on the map. And we'll get more in depth into this, but the areas in the tan shading are under a heat advisory from 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. this morning until 8 p.m. tonight, which is essentially all the Carolinas outside of the mountains. Those same areas are going to be under a heat advisory for the same time again tomorrow. But what's different about today is that we also have an excessive heat warning that's in effect, a very rare excessive heat warning from the low country, Edisto Beach, all the way up to Myrtle Beach into the PD and the Grand Strand, and also east central and southeastern North Carolina. This is where the heat index could get up to 115 degrees. You also see some folks out there in central Georgia are under an excessive heat warning. So again, this only gets posted about once or twice every summer. We've been seeing this for several days all throughout the weekend and now going into this week. So you want to make sure you protect your pets. You don't want them walking on the asphalt because it's going to get a lot hotter and exposed sunlight than it is inside the shade. And make sure you check in on your friends if you have any, and your family and your elderly if they have air conditioning and that they're staying cool and dry. Thunderstorms are going to return to the forecast later on this afternoon. They're going to be very far and few between, but if we do get any, it's going to be in the afternoon, say after 3 o'clock, and the air temperature will definitely have the possibility to reach 100 degrees. Did you see yesterday Florence actually hit 102 degrees for their actual air temperature, and we did see some places see the feels like temperature get up to 115 degrees, including the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. So again, getting in closer to those heat alerts. We've got excessive heat warnings all up and down the coast, and then heat advisories going further inland and away from the mountains is where we have that heat advisory, and that also goes into many locations in the south and the eastern half of the United States are under heat advisories as well. Take a look at this. This is pretty incredible. Every single town on this map in South Carolina is going to expect to see the heat index get at or above 106 degrees this afternoon. Take a look. I mean, all the towns, even at the coast, are going to see the heat index get well over 105 degrees this afternoon, and you're seeing 111 there for downtown Charleston, 109 for famously hot Soda City, Columbia. So many locations are going to be experiencing intense heat yet again today, and it doesn't stop there. We're going to continue to see that intense heat cause the UV index to reach 11 during the next few days, and then it goes down to a 7 and 8 for the weekend. This is because a front's going to come through, and we're finally going to see rain chances start to increase a little bit heading into the weekend. But do want you to know that once the UV index gets up there around 11, exposed skin can burn after about 5 to 10 minutes of being out there in the sunlight and the UV rays. So we've got 98 and 97 over the next couple of days. Storm chances are going to be a little bit more elevated than they usually are during this time of the year. And then going into the end of this week, into the weekend, look at this. High temperatures will only be in the mid-80s, and this is going to be for Columbia, so some areas could be a little bit cooler than this. And I also want you to know that it will be very humid because the storm chances are going to be so high. And so although it looks comfortable on the map or on the graph, we're still going to see the heat index get up to around 90 to 95 degrees, so it will still feel miserable out there even going into next week. But hey, we'll take it. It's better than 105 and 115 degrees, but until then, we've got to deal with several more days of temperatures getting close to 100 and overnight temperatures staying in the upper 70s.